and in the earth, and in the thicket of trees, did not come forth to save him. Chapter 1. Only 2 of the 30 seniors lined up in rows before him would have finished what he had told them to read. Austin Bullock knew that for a fact, and he knew who the 2 would be. One was Emma Alice Berryhill, a red-haired girl in the front row, so painfully thin he could see the blue flow of blood beneath her pale skin. And the other was Rolando Johnson, the large black kid against the back wall of the room, who, at his age, had fastened hard on the notion that if he did everything teachers and coaches and bosses told him, something was bound to break right for him eventually. Rolando caught Austin Bullock's eye on him from behind the desk in the front of the room, met his gaze for an instant, and then dropped his attention to the back of the head of the person sitting in front of him. That was Bobby Hunt's bear, one of the 10 members of Austin Bullock's own people in the American history class, and he, like the rest of the Alabamas and Cashatas in the room, was carefully focused on nothing outside of the 2-foot space of air surrounding him. The tribal bubble, Austin Bullock's ex-wife used to call it, that you people travel around in whenever you're outside the reservation. Impenetrable, invisible, impossible. Don't think about Ellen, Austin reminded himself, not while you're trying to work. Keep that for when you can afford the expense. Okay, he said aloud in the stone-quiet room, 2 minutes deep into his daily hour with the 16 and 17-year-olds before him. I know you haven't had much chance to think about what might be in Chapter 17 of our book, so I'm going to see if you can't do it right now. Somebody's foot scraped against the floor, a pencil dropped, and Austin could hear a few deep breaths being drawn in as though the supply of air was being rationed in the classroom. It's March, he said. It's not that hot yet. Nobody answered. It's after the war's officially over, Austin began. They've stacked their weapons at Appomattox and started walking home, the ones left. And what do they come back to? What's waiting in Coshada County, Texas, for example, for a man who's been gone for 4 years from a farm out close to Soda, halfway between here in Annette and the Indian reservation? Mud, said Billy Murphy, and looked around the room for a laugh. He got a small one. That's right, Austin Bullock said. Anything planted in the field? Cotton and potatoes? Billy Murphy tried his luck again. Who planted it? Austin asked. This soldier coming home hasn't been on the place for 4 years. His wife? Emma Alice Berryhill asked. She can't, Austin said. Mule's dead, and she's too sick to lift a hand anyway. And also, Billy, why does a man plant cotton? To sell, I reckon. Who's going to buy cotton in 1865 in East Texas? Who wants it? Not nobody, Rolando Johnson said. There ain't been cotton traded since the war started. Why not? The Union Army done stopped it. You got it, Austin said. So what does this homecoming soldier see after he's walked over 1,000 miles from Virginia to out near the Indian reservation? Was it there, by the way, in 1865? Would this soldier have seen some Alabamas and Cashadas out riding circles round wagon trains? No, half the class said in one voice, and yes, the other half answered. Got a disagreement, Austin said. Got to fix it later. What would he have seen on the old home place, this ex-soldier? No cotton, Maria Baptiste said. No potatoes either. She paused for a space and then spoke again. Hungry people and nothing to eat. Anything to sell? Austin Bullock asked, and waited for the voices to say no from all parts of the room. When they came immediately, he felt good enough to stand up and walk to the window to catch a little breeze. The American history class was warming up well on this morning in late March. Out in the hall, later, students flowing past him as though he were a rock in the middle of a creek bed, Austin Bullock stood looking down at a pile of memos from his mailbox and trying to remember whether or not he had lunchroom duty on Monday. The once and future chief, someone said from behind him. Hey, Phil, Austin said. You got lunchroom today? Nope, it's Monday, you're up. What I was afraid of. It do come around regular, don't it? She do, Phil Spurgeon said as the 2 men watched the last of the stray students leave the corridor for the classrooms. You didn't hear what I called you. You're always calling me names. What, Chief?